Good morning everyone. Today we are in Durango, Colorado, and we are being tourists. We are going to go on a scenic train ride through the mountains. This is the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railway. Narrow gauge because the track is only 3 feet wide, and there are a bunch of different classes you can choose from. There are 4 or 5 different classes. Like this one is all open. There's a deluxe first class. I think I'm in this style right here. And I think I'm actually in this train, or in this car right here. And this, I think, one of these is my locomotive. So when you buy your ticket, you can get a steam engine or a diesel engine. I chose steam because it seemed, I don't know, more old-timey, more authentic. This is a 45-mile, 3.5-hour ride between Durango, where I am now, and Silverton, which is the next major mining town, old mining town up the road. These are all old mining towns in this area, and that's what this railroad was originally for. It was to carry gold and silver ore out of the mountains. Yeah, it looks like 493 is going to be our engine. All right. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is my train, the one right behind, and I'm sitting back here on the right side. Okay. Back right corner. Here's the train. I think this is us. And I think these windows open. Oh yeah. Nice. Except it's not really staying open. Good enough. And here's looking out. Looking out the train. Apparently this side, the right side, is the good side if you want the best views when you're going up to Silverton. And these are not wide seats, wide benches. I'm a pretty skinny guy and I'm taking up, exactly half of this.
I want to ask everyone, please keep themselves inside the train cars at all times. This includes your head, your hands, your arms, your legs, your children, and yes, ladies, your husbands.
We're moving. And here's the conductor checking tickets. Okay guys, it's been about an hour. Let's go explore a little bit. We're climbing up into the mountains. The first 15 minutes or so was still in town, and then the next 30 minutes were like kind of rural, houses alongside the train and some shops and that sort of thing. And then for the last 15 minutes we've been climbing through the pine forest a little bit more. Let's go to the dining cart. I think the dining car is like 4 or 5 trains back. This next one is a different class. This is one of the open air ones. This is cool, I like this one. It's like this is the food cart. Here's the menu of snacks in case you're interested. They've got drinks and popcorn and chips and hot dogs and granola. The train has stopped to take on more water to cool down the engine, and we've stopped right next to a little waterfall. It's so cool. Okay guys, we made it. Let's pack up our stuff here. Close the window. Okay, before we go into town, I think I need to check in at the buses here because I'm actually going to be taking a bus back To Durango. Higbee.
Higbee.
An H.
You're going to be on that bus.
Okay, come back at what time?
2:30 or so.
2:30? Okay.
2:20, 2:30.
Okay, good, thank you. Here's one last look at the train, guys. I think this dates back to like the 1920s. It's an old train. And here's a better look at Durango. Again, cool little old mining town turned tourist town. Neat old buildings, beautiful location. I've been here several times before, most recently I think a year or two ago. I'll put a link to that video down below if you want to watch it. But I think I'm gonna go walk over this way and go across the river. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun, that train ride. It took a little bit longer than 3.5 hours. We had to stop a couple of times for them to make some minor repairs, like there was a problem with the hose that cracked somewhere in the steam engine, so it took just under 4 hours, I think. And wow, look at this old car here. What is that, an old Model T? Model A? I don't know anything about these cars, but it sure is cool. And it looks like a Bronco next to it. And then cool little casita camper. Lots of neat rigs here. Look at this thing. This is one of those snowcat machines, I think. And then we have that right there. Lots of neat overlanding rigs. Look at this one. And this one. There's a little patch of BLM land on the other side of the river, and I want to fly the drone from there and get a nice aerial view, bird's eye view of town. And I also wanted to go for a walk out of town to just kind of get some peace and quiet, because the train, I mean, that's like, 3 or 4 hours of just like noise. And I wanted some calm, some peace. I want to feel the wind, not smell the train. We'll go take a look at the main drag in Silverton in a minute here. Well, not in a minute. After we decompress. But for now, let's go relax a little bit. That was an awesome train ride. That was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I did that. This is something I've been wanting to do for years. So I remember as a kid, my dad, who passed away a couple years ago, talking about the Durango to Silverton Railroad, or Durango and Silverton Railroad, I think it's called. When he was a teenager, he went on an outward bound little 2, 3, 4 week trip, something like that, in the mountains here in the San Juans. And after the trip, well, actually, while they were on the trip, this train would deliver food and supplies to their group. It would stop at various places and, drop off a cache of food and supplies. And then after he was done with Outward Bound, he did this train just, as a tourist like me. So this is fun. I remember him talking about that when I was just a little kid, so it's fun to finally check this one off the list. It wasn't cheap though. Let me tell you exactly how much I paid for this. So like I said earlier, I was in the coach class, which is the cheapest, lowest class, and the ticket itself was $105. There was a $10.72 historic preservation fee. There was a $29 fee for the bus ticket to go back from here, or to go from here back to Durango. I bought a map for $6 that I picked up at the gift shop this morning. Not really worth it, but that was $6. And then I paid $10 for parking, and so the grand total was $160.72. It's more expensive if you get the higher classes. I think the most expensive ticket one way is like $250 or something like that, $300. And then you can also take the train back, which is more expensive. I chose to take the bus back because it's cheaper. And yeah, I think that was it. Awesome, awesome ride. Beautiful scenery. That train has been running since, or that route has been open since 1881. Unbelievable. And it was so fun hearing the train sounds, like the chugga 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 chugga, and the choo choo, like those were real sounds. Those kind of stereotypical steam engine, steam locomotive sounds. You hear those, and being so close to the engine was really neat. Just to get a really good view and a really good listen at all that. That was a lot of fun. All right, guys, we are heading back to the train depot, which is also where the buses are. And what a cool little town. I like Silverton. I think this train here is about to leave. And I see our buses yonder. Welcome to camp, everyone. What a beautiful little spot. And quiet. It's a quiet, calm, peaceful spot. There's no one else around. I drove a few miles on the dirt road out here to get here, and I didn't pass anyone else. There's no one else camped in this area. I feel like I can breathe again. It's a glorious little spot. Or at least it would be glorious if it weren't for the toilet paper and wet wipes that a previous occupant of this campsite left in the fire ring. Don't do this. I'm sure none of my viewers would do this, but this is just bad. Like, why would you do this? I don't understand. It's not even burned. They didn't even try to burn this. They just put it in the fire ring. The bus ride back to Durango was pretty straightforward. It went well. It was about an hour, and then I got dinner in Durango and then drove about 45 minutes east to this area where I am now. And I'm still sort of in the San Juans, but I'm at the southern edge, sort of the southern foothills of the San Juan Mountains. I've left the higher elevation and more dramatic areas behind, and that's why I've also sort of left the crowds behind. The weather is beautiful. It's perfect out here right now. Conditions are so nice. So I'm gonna spend a little time out here relaxing and enjoying the weather and writing in my journal. I have written in my journal every day since February 2011. One day I just decided to write a journal, and I've never stopped, and it's been great. And so I like to reflect at the end of the day on what happened and what I did. And today I'm going to talk about how much I enjoyed that train ride, how expensive it was, but then also how much I loved just the sights and the sounds of that old train, how much I liked being on the side of the canyon above the river and looking down at the river and seeing that beautiful green water of the Animas River down below. I loved that. I loved being in these valleys where there were no roads. It was just the train going through, and looking up at the peaks on the side of the valley and pulling out my phone, looking at my map to see what those peaks were, and putting a face to the name, so to speak. I loved being back in Silverton. I think Silverton is one of the more charming little Colorado mountain towns. It's still kind of a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit crusty, and I really enjoy that. So it's always fun to go back there. Yeah, I'm gonna write about all that, how much I wish my wife were here, and about notes for my future self that I can refer back to say what we should do when we come back here together. It was a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know what your experiences have been like in this area. I know a lot of you guys have done that train ride, and I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, guys, it's about an hour later, and I just saw a bear, and I was able to get some footage of it. So let me explain to you what happened before I show it to you. I was just messing around here doing something, and I heard a crashing in the forest, and usually that's just a deer, happens all the time. I looked around and there's a bear staring at me. Not especially close, but I could clearly see a bear over there. And so I rushed to grab my camera, which luckily had a pretty decent zoom lens on it. And I was able to get some shaky but hopefully clear footage of the bear. It looked at me a couple times and then ran off. My first instinct was to run after it so I could get better pictures and better video. That's probably not the best instinct to have. You probably shouldn't go running after apex predators after you scare them. And so luckily I didn't do that, but I did get a little bit of footage. I see bears once a year, once every other year. It doesn't happen super often, but it does happen. And usually I don't get footage of it. Usually it's just like a glimpse and then they're gone. I'm happy I was able to get at least something with this one. It won't win any nature documentary awards or anything like that, but I think it's kind of fun. So let me show you that here, and I'll see you in the next one. That's a bear. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.